Are we on?
I think you probably are, but it's setting up right now.
It's live on YouTube. What's up, y'all?
Okay, you guys are live. It's just not live on our end yet. You can talk, babe.
It's not live on our end yet,
Babe, you
WACC.
can talk. It's fine.
It says it's live on mine,
There
Jack.
you go.
Can you see me on there, WACC?
Hey,
Yes,
just
sir.
don't get
All right.
there. You can see your beautiful face. There you go.
All right, folks, how you doing tonight? Saturday night. Who's on?
I don't know
Anybody
yet.
on yet?
Lex is up first. Lex
Hi,
Sarah
Lex.
Wilder girls on first.
Yeah, hey, folks. Look what we got here. Yeah, it's a new member of the family. She's a rescue. We're going to call her Rose.
That's right.
Yeah. Huh, Rose? Huh, girl? This is Chewy's girlfriend. Come, baby. Look at that. Say hello. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's the latest. That's Chewy's girl.
Just got her today.
Just picked her up today. That's why we're a little late. What do you think of that, WACC?
Yeah, Chewy is officially off the market now, huh?
Yeah. Chewy's off the market, folks. He's got a girl. Chewy's got a young chick to kick it with.
That's right.
Yeah. So what's going on, WACC? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. Just a little, did a couple videos today and had a hard time getting it to upload the second time around. And then I did this earlier today, I did interview with Josh on 23 and 1.
Oh, all right.
So I feel like I've been sitting in front of this camera all day, but you know,
Yeah.
I love our people, man. And so, hey, it's
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever tonight, you know?
Yeah, it is. I know that feeling sitting in front of that camera. Sometimes you spend quite a few hours in front of it. And of course, Adrian knows about the editing. It takes hours, but I'm glad you're getting your channel figured out.
Oh yeah, it's a process, bro. But you know, it's a good thing because you actually find yourself talking about stuff that you go through in your mind and look back on stuff, and
Right.
you see how much you've changed, your outlook, your perspective.
Oh, Josh is on. Say hello. Lockdown 23.
Oh, hey, WACC. We got Josh on tonight. Death I Bring. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Josh?
Thanks for interviewing, WACC. Yeah, that's Lockdown 23 and 1 for you guys who don't know. He gave my start, and now he's interviewed WACC. So, yeah.
Well, I think Josh's name should be changed to the Godfather of the prison genre.
The Godfather. Yeah.
He made it as painful.
YouTube Godfather.
He made it as painful as possible. And I will say this: when we talked off camera, the dude is a stand-up dude, man.
Yeah.
And most importantly, man, he's about his family.
Yeah.
Staying free and doing what's right and getting them.
Did he give you an offer you couldn't refuse?
Yeah, about 3 of them, man. I'll get back to him when them missions are accomplished.
Yeah. Josh is about the business of being free and take care of his family and his higher power. So I admire him for that, man.
Yes, man. Shout out to you, Josh, man. You're the real deal, bro. And
so
need anything, man, holla at me, bro.
Likewise with me. So I got guys some homework, kind of. If that dog's up on the counter, babe.
What the? Oh my God.
Our new dog's up on the counter. She's a Springer. So we had watched. We were going to watch the movie Hunger and do a little review on that. And I was just wondering how that went.
Well, I can say that it took me back, man.
Yeah. Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, that is that movie brings a lot. It invokes a lot of emotions, man. And I couldn't sleep that night after I watched it.
Yeah.
It was just it's amazing what we as humans put other humans through, bro, because of beliefs or color or creed or religion. It's amazing, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that movie brought back a lot of memories and thoughts about things I went through in prison. Obviously, California prison system's been messed up for quite a while. I didn't experience a lot of stuff they went through, but we experienced some pretty hard times. Like they would beat your ass and they would shoot you with real guns and they would kill you back in the day, and they will still do it.
Sorry, just say Josh is leaving. Say bye. Say God bless you. And
God bless, Josh.
A second later.
God bless you, brother.
Josh is signing off. But that movie, for guys who don't know the history there, that movie picks up where during the blanket protest. So what's going on is those dudes were IRA members or accused of being in the IRA, and the British Crown or British government considered them to be terrorists. So at one time they were considered political prisoners. They could wear their own clothing. They were locked up in barracks type stuff, a prison, but it was barracks, like army barracks. And for some reason, they had a riot and they burnt the place down. They put them in the maze, cell living.
What is the maze?
The maze is a prison in Ireland, Northern Ireland. It's run by the British government. And so the cells in the maze had no toilets or sinks in the cell. And so they told these guys, from now on, you're going to be considered common criminals. You're no longer considered political prisoners. And they wouldn't let them wear their own clothes anymore. They wanted to wear a prison uniform. And so they protested by saying, we're not wearing it. Well, to use the bathroom, you had to come out of your cell. And see, a lot of this the movie doesn't really cover. You kind of got to have a little bit of knowledge about it. So anyway, they said, we're not wearing a prison uniform. So they said, well, you can't come out of your cell then to use the bathroom. So they started throwing their shit and piss out the window. Then they sealed the windows, I think, where they couldn't do that. So as you see in the movie, they started dumping their piss out the door, and they started smearing the shit on the walls because they couldn't get out of their cell to take a shit. So they'd smear the shit on the walls so it would dry and it wouldn't smell. That's the purpose of that. A lot of people think, it's just a crazy type of thing, but it was actually a reason behind it. And I saw a lot of the cells where they would have like a clean spot in the back of the wall with a Virgin Mary and Jesus icons on the wall. Right. And then the whole cell's covered in shit. Right. So that's where the movie picks up. And so I just kind of, I wonder anybody's views on the movie. And what did you think about that movie, WACC? What kind of things stood out like from the beginning to the end? Let's kind of review it.
So I wasn't too much informed on the whole situation, the IRA and the Catholics and the Protestants. I always heard about it as a kid. My grandmother would watch the world news at like 5:30 every night, and I'd hear about car bombings in Ireland or right. Like the IRA or whatever. So I didn't know too much about it, right? So I got into this movie, and I had to stop midway, and I went to Wikipedia and I read on a couple articles on it to get a little bit more understanding. And one of the things that stuck out, and probably stuck out to a lot of people, was the wiping the feces on the wall. I don't know of a more fouler smell than shit outside of a toilet. Right. And we've been in ADSEG together. We've been in ADSEG. You've been in ADSEG. I've been in ADSEG several times. I think I went to the hole in 7 years. I think I last counted. I think I had been to the hole 23 times. But I've been next door to a dude that wipes shit on himself and all over the cell. Now, that's the worst smell. Yeah. That comes to mind.
I worked as a plumber too, so I've seen a lot of nasty stuff.
You were literally knee deep in shit sometimes. So
and I snaked a lot of toilets,
Yeah, there's not a more fouler smell, right? But anyways, that just shows you the inhumanity, I don't even know the word, the inhumane side of people that would force them to go to that extreme,
Right.
to get what a normal person should get, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's common decency to let someone use a toilet.
Yes.
To say,
yes.
you know, you can't use a toilet because you won't wear our uniform. All right, fine. Let them walk up and down the hallway naked, or it
Right.
was a blanket protest. All they would wear was a blanket.
Yes.
You know, and to say you can't go use a toilet and wash your face and brush your teeth in a sink or take a shower because you won't wear a uniform. That's kind of
that's nothing but a power move on the administration and on the government's part.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
I'm the boss. You're gonna do what the hell I tell you to do,
right,
when I tell you to
right.
do it, and you're gonna do it the way I tell you to do it.
Yeah,
That's
you're gonna do it how I tell you to do it.
That's all that was.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
way also to break them down, you know.
Mm-hmm. And so,
you know, a lot of guys would probably crack down and say, all right, I'll wear your clothes just so I can use the shitter in the bathroom in the shower. But
yeah,
you know, them guys held their mud. And you know, you see part of the thing, you know, like in the movie, they're all sliding their piss out the door at the same time. You know,
yep.
You notice that?
Yeah.
And then the cop has to clean it up, and
yep.
the cop's sliding it underneath their doors, right, with a squeegee.
Yep.
And I've read a lot of stuff about this, and a lot of that stuff that I read about years ago, I saw in this movie. So a lot, to me, as far as I know, the movie's fairly accurate on a lot of this stuff. It might even be downplayed on some cases, you know.
Yeah.
But
cleaned up. Yeah, cleaned up.
Yeah, they might have downplayed a little bit.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that unity, man? I mean, that's unity. I mean, you know, just even a lot of the guys, from what I understand, didn't do the hunger strike, but they did a lot of the other stuff, like sliding the piss out in the hallway and smearing shit, not wearing the clothes. I mean, that's unity, you know. And you hear that one guy, when he's beating his ass, he tells him, "Don't give in," you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the
bro.
It goes back to the old saying, "United we stand, divided we fall." Right? You hear that, and it became a generic term, but the true meaning of that is the truth. Meaning that if me and you stand here and we refuse to turn our backs on each other and we weather whatever comes our way, one is stronger than two. Two is, know, four is stronger than, one. I mean, two is stronger than one. Three is stronger than two.
Yeah.
And the more that
there's a song by the Dropkick Murphys. It says, "Together we are what we can't be alone."
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and that goes, and it took me back to when I first hit the joint, and one day the pig iron was on the yard, bro. And the next morning we come out to walk to chow, and the weight pile is gone.
Yep, they took our weights away.
You know, and it was like, and I remember the older homies talking about it, like, "Damn, cuz, see, I told you, man, we should have fucking, you know what I mean? We should have put it down, bro." And you know what? It was a lack of unity, bro.
Yeah, and Donovan, when they took the weights away, there were guys out there stacking the weights on pallets so they could come in with a forklift and drive them off. And I go, "Man, what the fuck are you guys doing?" And I told some of the other guys, I go, "Man, we had to stab them dudes, man. They're giving our weights away." Like, "Oh, bro, there's nothing you can do about it." And there was no unity. So they took the weights, and then everything else followed. They took the family visits and the clothes and so on and so forth. So that show of unity in that film and in real life was amazing, you know.
And that's finding that inner strength, the last card that you have to play, and that's going all in, bro. Them dudes felt that they had nothing else. There was nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So, and the only thing that they had to hold on to was their faith and their unity amongst each other, man. And so you you have to, whether you agree with that group or not, you have to tip your hat to them, because in the face of being robbed of the bare essentials, and I'm talking about the bare essentials of being able to use a toilet as a human being, got ripped away from them, and they stood up to it because they had nothing else to lose.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, it was, they couldn't use the toilet and the sink and the shower. You know, their visits were limited. I mean, and you see how they're strip searching them, finger waving them, you know, beating them. They were abusing them physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It was just a constant barrage of abuse, man. And so you get this, a lot of guys get like California is known as having a lot of gangs and stuff in prison, and we experienced a lot of that, but not on that level anymore. It was like that in California 60s and 70s, and obviously in modern era it's not like that. But people wonder why we have such racially divided and gang activity and all that kind of stuff. Is because when you experience these kind of conditions, I mean, I got beat down and thrown in a strip cell for a couple months, but the first week or two, I didn't have any clothes. I had a pair of boxers, no mattress, nothing. Yep. And that was in a cell that they could black out. And so anyway, you develop a sense of camaraderie with people. You start calling these guys brothers, you know, and these guys had ties from the streets, you know. Right. People that aren't aware of what's going on in Ireland, they had a revolution to kick the British government out of Ireland, and they drove it up to Northern Ireland, which now there's a division. There's Ireland, and then the Republic of Ireland, and then there's Northern Ireland that's controlled by the British Empire, and they want Britain out of their country. So they had a common theme, a catalyst that united them as brothers. Same thing happens in California. People start calling each other brother. Their experience is the same thing. Especially like when I was a lifer in prison and we didn't think we were ever going to get out, there was a common catalyst. We started having a little bit more respect for other guys that we normally wouldn't fuck with because they were in the same boat as us, you know? Right. So for them guys over there, they had a common bond from the streets all the way through prison. It was religion and their homeland, you know? Right.
Some comments when you guys are done.
Oh, we got some comments here, WACC. Let's hear from people that what they got to say there.
So our buddy Mad Max is on, and he said unity like that is a thing of the past. Yeah. People aren't built like that anymore. These youngsters don't have heart like that.
You agree with that, WACC?
You said what again?
Oh, he said that unity like that's a thing of the past, and these youngsters now, they don't have heart like that.
Yeah, unity and loyalty is just a word tattooed on your arm, or it's a saying on your shirt, you know?
Yeah, it's not a real deal anymore.
No, not at all.
Very few groups of people have that type of unity, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of the motorcycle clubs, I will say, have that type of unity because you look what happened in Waco, Texas. They arrested like 177 people. None of them snitched, and they all beat it. So it does happen, but it's in rare cases, you know? What other kind of comments we got?
Let's see. I remember living in Wahoo. This is Tom Key. He's a new sub over here from DC.
All right.
He said, I remember living in Wahoo, having many Samoan and Tongan friends that told me they would have my back if I ever went inside, because he's only been in county, he's never been in prison.
Yeah.
So that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
You
know, a lot of Pacific Islanders stick together in prison like that, though, WACC.
Yeah, well, like I said, I grew up amongst a gang of Samoans, and that's embedded in their culture. So that's a cultural thing with them, man. They you know, they really believe in the family thing, and if you're a part of them, they're gonna go with you 100%.
Yep. Oh, by the way, Louis Max is on. You can see that part 3 of Adrian's interview, or hear it on Louis Max's Grind and Pivot.
Big Louis Max, shout out to you, bro.
Tell him what he gave you.
Oh, you know, Louis sent me a Boston cream pie for my birthday,
it was
bro.
Amazing.
And not just a Boston cream pie. He sent me a Boston cream pie from the place in Boston that originally started making Boston cream pies. It's actually a cake. It's actually a cake. And he sent me this badass shirt. I don't know if we can see that.
Yeah.
It's from Laconia.
That's
I
right.
have a motorcycle, a bike week there every year. So thank you, Louis, very much. I appreciate that.
That's right, Louis.
Yeah. Yeah. And the last part of the video with Adrian, the camera got bumped, so it's all audio. And we will post the audio with some photos on our YouTube later. But
right now it's on Louis.
Louis has the third part of the interview on his podcast.
Grind and pivot.
Grind and pivot.
I'd love to talk music with Louis, man. Louis is Louis the real deal, Holyfield, man.
Yeah, he's a music guy. Yeah.
I'd love to talk music with him.
Yeah. So in that video, what other kind of things stand out there, WACC?
So
working our way through it.
Yeah. How about the talk that he had with the father who came to visit him? And the priest, yeah. And he you know, he talked about the morality of doing and going through with the hunger strike, you know, and you know, he knew the results of what was going to happen.
Salute to you, WACC. He loves the channel.
Oh, by the way, WACC, Louis said salute to you. He loves your channel.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm subscribed to you as well. And like I said, anytime you want to talk music, man, hit me up, brother. I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, the Catholic priest was trying to tell him that it was like committing suicide. And, you know, he was being selfish and he was leading the other men to death and all this kind of stuff. And he was basically trying to throw the, what they refer to as Catholic guilt into the mindset and try to shame him out of doing the hunger strike. That's kind of how I saw it, that side of it. And how did you see Bobby Sands? And whether or not that conversation ever took place, we don't know. But how did you see the other side of the argument?
I mean, Bobby Sands and his cronies, his brothers, they didn't have nothing else to, what else was there? What option did them dudes have besides that?
Right.
So I don't care if it was Jesus himself, and I'm not disrespecting religion because I believe in God.
Yeah.
I'm saying it could have been Jesus himself standing in front of me or Bobby Sands, and there's nothing else more that you can say to me. I've been ripped of everything. Right.
So and did you hear what he said? He said, you know, if he died, he was saying, you know, the younger generation, it would carry on through them. It would inspire them to continue the struggle even if they died. So,
you know, he laid his life down for the betterment of his people. Whether whether history judges it as in being wrong or right, I'll let the people judge that, but I'll leave that to somebody else. But the man he died by what he believed. He lived and died by what he believed in.
Sure, and 10 of them died. And if you read the Bible, it says, you know, no greater love than a man lays down his life for his friend.
Yeah.
So he laid his life down for his friends, basically, and his cause, you know, which was his homeland and his family and everybody in Ireland that he loved and believed in, you know.
So, I mean, if you can knock that, then you're, you know, there's something wrong with you, man. You know, that dude lived by a code that a lot of people out here in this world will never understand.
No, you know, it's hard for guys to understand because they've never been placed in a situation where they've lost every single thing that gives them any kind of hope. And I was there. I mean, I reached that point where the only thing I had really was my hope was that I could do my artwork and get a decent meal once in a while and just wait to die. Like I took people used to ask me, hey, what's going on? You know, I said, I'm just sitting around waiting to die. I mean, that was the mentality of a lot of us for a long time, you know?
Yeah. And you know, that when you reach that point, there's really no talking somebody out of that. No. Because they have exhausted all remedies, all avenues.
I got questions.
Before they reach that decision. So there's no
we got a couple questions here, WACC. What are they, babe?
Okay, so Brandon Harris, this is kind of on the same subject, but not.
Yeah.
Brandon's been asking multiple times. He said, yo, WACC, what did you think of the famous Crip rapper Nipsey Hussle getting ambushed by a snitch? Well, how was it?
I was gonna do a video about that. But I'll just say it like this. The cold part about Nipsey Hussle dying, the irony in the whole situation is crazy. Nipsey Hussle made millions of dollars by his tongue, by his mouth. And we've all grown up. Right. I'm sure in every household you've heard the term, your mouth can get you killed. Right. Your tongue can get you killed. The strongest weapon we have in us or on us is our tongue.
Right, right.
So he made millions of dollars. He found his way up out of the neighborhood. He started good programs in his neighborhood. The man was really about uplifting his people. So my hat's off to him without a doubt. But what happened was Nipsey called somebody a snitch, and I don't know if the dude is a snitch or not, but in our world, and Nipsey knew this, when you call somebody a snitch, you better be ready to kill over that or die over that. That's not a label that you can just put on anybody. If somebody labels me a snitch, they're gonna have problems. And it's not about being a tough guy or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But we live by morals and standards. And the worst thing that you can be labeled in this world is a snitch or a chomo.
Yeah.
Them are two things you can't play with. And so when
he kind of forced the guy's hand.
Right. You embarrassed the dude. You put dude Johnny on the spot, and he went back to his car and he got 2 blowers and he came back and he killed the homie. Rest in peace to neighborhood Nip, man. And I'm from Nipsey's from 60s LA, the original 60s. I'm from San Diego 60s. So their neighborhood and my neighborhood were kind of like homies. You know what I mean? I was kind of like a homie. So I really
probably should have got him. Probably should have pulled that dude aside and said, "Hey, man, dudes are calling you a rat. You need to straighten that up."
No, and that's
what I mean.
I bullshit
instead of fronting him off.
No, I bullshit you not. Basically, they said that's what Nip told him was like, hey, they saying you snitching, man. You need to go take care of that. That was all basically he said to do, but he said it in front of other people to where he forced the dude's hand. So it was an unfortunate situation all the way around, man.
Yeah. So what's the other question, babe?
Just more. Just if you guys want to hear what people are saying. What
kind of comments we got?
So Jennifer Roberts said all facts, sadly. Brandon said, I knew WACC had a strong opinion on this. Mad Max said, you can't put that on someone without paperwork. And Brandon said, this channel is dope. Derek has a good idea. He said, WACC, you need to get your rig as your background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that would be cool.
Any comments on the movie we're discussing?
Yeah, but that was like 10 minutes ago.
I know, but we're still talking about the movie.
Okay. Catholic Church should worry about the problem priests they hid for 50 years. Let's
see. Someone said something about the Catholic Church there, and I'll make it real clear. The struggle with the Irish and the IRA against the North, it's about religion, but it's also about the British government dominating the island of Ireland. They wanted the British out. They want the Ireland to be for the Irish.
So help me understand this. So this was basically the Catholic and Protestant wars from the beginning of time, basically?
you know, at one time, the British Empire spanned the globe and all that shit. I mean, America, United States was part of the British Empire.
Right.
Till we had our revolution. And so anyway, Ireland was basically their last colony, and they had a revolution, and they tried to run the British out. And the people who are loyal to the British crown are basically Protestants. So it's always been billed as a Catholic Protestant war. But to me and a lot of other people, it's not. That's a small part of it. The bigger part is that it's Britain is still dominating part of the Irish island, you know, and they want Britain out.
Yeah, it's
we got a good. She said we got a good question. What's up?
Do it.
This is good.
All right.
Okay. Ian, good question. Why does pain unite and pleasure divide?
Why does pain unite and pleasure divide?
That's deep.
It's a good question.
I guess when people are struggling, they need a hand in their struggle. You know?
I think pain, and we're talking about physical and mental, but I think that we all can agree that mental pain and emotional pain is 10 times worse than physical pain. But, you know, when you're in pain, all your senses are heightened. And you're looking for any outlet. And so your understanding level, I believe, kind of opens up to where you accept more help or more advice. You're almost willing to try anything to get out of that pain. And so that might...
And when someone else is going through the same struggle that you're going through, causing them the same pain, it tends to unite you.
Yeah, you have a common bond, you know, and so, and then... And pleasure is a how do you say it? It's more of a
dog's up on the computer,
self-absorbed thing, you know, where it's just you.
Yeah.
You know?
The dog's on the computer.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. You all right, baby? Yeah. And you see a lot of times people will come up and they'll leave their neighborhood. So like you say, pleasure divides. It's like, hey, I'm doing well. I want to live an easier lifestyle. I'm moving out of the neighborhood and see you later. 1 second, I gotta grab this dog. She's up on the computer.
All right.
Come here. Come on, baby. Yeah, come on.
What's up with y'all, man? I see you guys, man. I see all of you guys. Shout out
She
to
is. She's up on the computer, bro.
What's up, KO? I see you, bro. Man, I send mine, homie, in full, man. I love you, bro.
Who's that?
My homeboy KO, Travis Martinez.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so you understand what I'm saying there? Like people come up, they leave their neighborhood, they leave the painful shit behind when they
it's
weird.
Without a doubt.
And they forget about, you know, where they came from.
Well, I mean, you get dudes that say, oh man, this rapper, he done got famous and he left the hood and, you know, he turned his back on everybody. But I mean, it can be up for debate as far as like, look, man, I can't bring the whole neighborhood with me, bro. And plus, anyways, when I was broke, I didn't fuck with half of y'all anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just because you're homeboy with everybody from your neighborhood because you guys happen to be from the same gang or whatever, that don't mean you fuck with everybody from that neighborhood, bro. Yeah. You only, I fuck with a handful. Even when I was coming up, I fucked with a handful of dudes, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, now if we went to a function or something, had a barbecue at the rec or we did something together as all of us, then yeah, I mean, I would mingle with some of the other homies. But, you know, everybody has their certain select group of friends or homies or whatever you want to call it, carnals, whatever you want to call it, that you fuck with. You're not going to be able to.
I used to trip on that. I used to trip on that in prison, man. Like whenever I came up, you know, guys didn't really do it to me, but I see like guys would be chasing their homeboys around the yard, all wanting a piece of what the guys got. And it's like, dude, there ain't enough to go around and feed the whole yard. And if the dude's doing something for him, that's his shit. Everyone be like, and the common thing was what? I ain't wide enough. Like, you know, the begging hand, that was their hustle. You know, and I hated that shit because if you come up, it's up to you how you spread it, you know?
Yeah, and you know, I learned in prison, man, the OG homie we were talking about yesterday from Pyru homie.
Yeah.
One of his favorite sayings was the term homie is just another word to get over on somebody.
Yep.
You know?
A lot of ways it is.
And so you know, you gotta be careful
in the bucket.
with, man.
Yeah.
Everybody, a lot of people seem like they got ulterior motives, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But like I said in one of my last videos, you know, when I went to the hole in San Quentin after smoking that tobacco, man, them dudes were like, oh man, all you sent back here was that little bitty knot. Because I had a homeboy from San Diego in the hole, and I had a route. I shot him a lump of tobacco because in the hole, that's to help him out, right? So when I got busted and went to the hole, all them dudes from other towns were like, hey, you know, how come you weren't taking care of us? And I was like, hey, you know, fuck you. I don't know you. I take care of my homeboys, right?
Basically.
I'm not here to take care of everybody else's homeboys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, you know, I basically told me it's not my obligation to take care of you. I take care of my homeboys when I can, and that's, you know.
And see, and Mitch, that's why when you were talking about the situation in the movie of where they were forced to unify, right? And them kind of situations are kind of what led California prison, the convicts, to start getting together as races out of protection for each and own, right? But that also is a double-edged sword, though, because then you believe, hey, if he's white, he owes everything that he gets, he owes to all the whites. Or if he's black, or if he's a Crip, then he should be breaking off the whole Crip card. Nah, dog, it don't work like that, bro. I don't know you from Adam, homeboy. I just met you over a bowl of soup, homie. So, you know what I mean? You get the fuck out of my face with that punk shit. You know?
Yeah, my thing was when it comes to conditions in prison, trying to get more privilege or better food or whatever, then I'm down for uniting. But when it comes to like your personal hustle, you know, I got a job. Some guy's too lazy to get off his ass and get a job in PIA or whatever. He wants to run around the yard and shoot dope. I remember one time I came in off the yard and we had a homeboy named Larry, and he had his all forehead all tattooed and shit. It's in Lancaster, and I had $180 for the canteen. He's like, hey man, how about a few soups? I told him no. And he goes, fuck you and your soups. And I backtracked to his cell. I said, hey, fuck you. I go, you shot your soups in your arm, dummy.
Yep. I don't know you.
I'm not down with that shit.
And I'm with you. I'm with you on the you know, if it's against the band as a collective, let's roll. I'm down. You know, and that's why I mentioned it when we were talking and when you interviewed me is, you know, I self-extracted twice, 3 months to the house, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, and I did that because I was in the cell with one of my homeboys from the streets, and also because of the homies back there. We were getting fucked over.
Yeah, now you've seen the cell extractions in this movie, right?
Man.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they basically did the same shit to us. I mean, they weren't slamming our face in the wall every time, but I remember I've been cell extracted in the early days, and there would be one dude up front with a shield, and there'd be like 5, 7 dudes behind him. Yeah. And when they crack the door, all them dudes behind him are shoving him into you. Yeah, he pins you to the wall, and then it's on, you know, and that's after they gas you.
Yeah.
That's after they gas you.
And that's why we started putting fucking shampoo on the floor. You know what I mean? So they
right.
But see,
so we experienced a similar thing as those guys there.
Oh yeah, bro. Hey, man, they hit my face on the railing going down the stairs, bro, and on the way up, the same thing. They tried to.
And you had a cop. but you had a cop break both your hands, right?
Yes, I did. In Lancaster, I opened up the ASU unit in January 2003, bro, and I got into it. There was this one white cop. I could tell he didn't like me. He didn't like my flavor, and I didn't give a fuck. Fuck him. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if you don't like it, homie, run up. You know what I mean? And so, you know, he would cater to the woods. I mean, you know, I'm not even gonna say the woods, bro. He catered to the skinheads, bro, that were back there. He had a shaved head, and he tried to, you know, he used to say Holmes, and he thought he was a skinhead, but he was a fucking bitch.
Yeah, but he just,
And anyway,
manipulating them.
Yeah, he broke my hands with the triangle device, both my hands. They had to send me to the outside hospital right there in Lancaster. The doctor told the COs that escorted me over there, hey, you guys are pieces of shit, and I'm gonna have to report you guys by law. 2 or 3 days later, I had two representatives from Sacramento from internal affairs. I go into this, they escort me into this room. They've got a camera on a tripod, and they tried to interview me on what happened. But I'm not into telling. I don't even tell on the police. So I told them, hey, man, take me back to my cell. And the lady she was like really trying to push it, like, that dude will be fired today. He'll lose his job. He probably is going to go to jail, and you can get money, a lawsuit. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Take me back to my cell. And she was really trying to get me to talk, you know what I mean, about what happened. And I was just like, nah, I ain't got nothing to say. You know,
that's the thing. Like over here, there are checks and balances. It takes a long time for them to go into effect. But over there, those guys are being held in prison by their enemies, basically.
Right. Yeah, they didn't have any. They didn't have no give back, bro.
Yeah. So the cell extractions, to me, were a lot of ways very similar to the cell extractions that we go through over here.
Oh yeah, bro. I've seen dudes get fucked up, Mitch, and I know you have too, bro. Especially coming from the old school. But I've seen some dudes get lit the fuck up, bro. And I talked about it on the video I did earlier today when I was at Donovan on my violation. And I think I told you this story, man. One of the skinheads that got into it with the cop, and this is an ad seg, and the cop was like, man, shut up, punk. I'll get your fucking door open. And dude was like, you get my door open, I'm gonna fuck you up. And I guess he got the tower to pop the door a little bit, man. And hey, that white boy slid up out of that little crack in the door, man, and he went out there and got busy with the police, bro. And he was fucking them cops up, dog. They were beating him with the batons. His cellie got out the cell, so they were really getting it in, right? And then right after that, and then all of a sudden you heard, excuse me on the tier, wood pile, skinheads, board up. And everybody white in that building boarded up. You know what I mean? And they all cell extracted, bro. Hey, and that lasted, this was probably like 11 in the afternoon, right before lunch. That shit went on until like 1 in the morning, bro. To the point of you couldn't breathe in that building because of the tear gas and the OC spray. They cell extracted every white cell in that. Them white boys got cracking, bro, on everything I love, dog. They got cracking, bro.
Yep. I remember when that stuff was going on. I was there. Yep. I wasn't in the hole at the time, but I was on the main line. I heard about it.
They had to lock the whole facility down. That was like right around Thanksgiving of 05, Mitch. 2005.
I was there, and then what they'll do is they'll shut all the mainline yards down and take all the staff to add seg to cell extract those guys. Yeah.
And they try to come to our doors and cover our windows with the blankets and all that. But, you know, we were ripping them fucking things down. We were taking our fishing lines and, you know, yanking down blankets and shit. So when they were cell extracting them woods, man, they were beating their ass, bro. You know what I mean? So,
I know.
Yeah, it's about the same, dog.
So just imagine like in that movie, you see where they're cell extracting that, and them dudes in that one cell, they're kind of braced up. They're waiting for their turn.
Yeah.
You know? And I mean, it's a motherfucker, man. The emotions that you feel, the tension, the stress, you know they're gonna come and get you. Yeah, it ain't nothing nice. There ain't no peeing either. Once it gets to that stage, you're gonna, and in their situation, there's no turning around. I mean, they're all there for the same reason, the same cause.
You're gonna get your ass whooped anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so and I got a kind of a little side note story to that story I just told you about the Woods and Donovan that time. My next door neighbor, and I told you this, was Danny.
Yeah.
And I remember Danny told me through the vent, like, you know, because you're watching them as they come around, you know, as they're cell extracting every other cell, you know. And I was in I was in 244, so Danny must have been in 243. And I remember, so they were getting close. They were probably down there by about like 235 or something. And he was like, "Hey, WACC." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, Danny?" He was like, "Hey, so are you gonna be white tonight?" I'm like, "What you mean?" He was like, "You gonna join in on the selling thing?" Hell, motherfucking no, I ain't, dog. Yeah, hey, handle y'all business though. I'll be right here for when you get back, bro. Shit.
Yeah. So I think we got a question here, huh, babe? We got a question.
Somebody just gave us a super chat.
Oh wow, we got a super chat.
Wow, 88 Badfish 88 gave us $25.
Well, thank you.
He said $15 for the house fund, $5 for the GoPro fund for the rides, and $5 towards Chewy and Rosie's wedding.
That's
Love you guys, Billy. Thanks, Billy. That's super cool.
So we got any questions there, babe?
There's a ton of them. You guys have been talking a long time.
We've been talking WACC,
I didn't want to mess up your guys' flow. And there's comments too, not just questions.
Well, let's hear it.
DC Irish said, "It's a new lady."
Yeah, it's a new lady.
Ian Moore said, "New York has the shields that tase you."
Oh yeah, they have shields now that when they touch you with them, it tases you.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. What else?
Let's see. I'm sorry if I didn't say thank you. Thank you, Billy, 88 Badfish. Thank you.
Thank you. Very much.
Lady P said, "I can't imagine the mental readiness you have to have." Josh and Ash said, "I broke a cop's leg, which was my first charge as an adult. Not saying I'm a badass or whatever, but he deserved it."
I'm sure he did.
DC Irish said, "Tom's a proud Irishman." Tom P said, "Crazy white boy." Let's see. Mad Max said, Ian Moore said, "Being a criminal in America means you're going on a personal war with society, so you basically are a POW."
Yeah.
Cell extraction sucked. That's what DC Irish said. What Mad Max said, "Haha, WACC, I got a cop really good with a shampoo on my cell floor. He fell so hard he broke his ass. He beat my ass good for it, but it was worth it."
Yeah.
Let's see. Turk just on it. He just touched down in Dago.
Turkey Loco's back from Atlanta.
He was in Atlanta again. Woo! Let's see. DC Irish just had surgery.
Oh, wow.
And so he fucked up his neck, but he says it's
all right.
Worse. So Josh and Ash have an interesting story. I think this is Josh on. He said his childhood, when you guys were talking about friends helping each other and blah, blah, blah. He said, "My childhood best friend done 8 years and he won $2 million in scratch off when he got out and he hooked me up."
Cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I love to hear that both ways. So Jeff Molina signed in from Cocoa County.
Stay down, Cocoa County.
Ian Moore said, "I think finding a group of people with like minds is very powerful and important."
Yeah.
That's true. These guys good questions, good statements.
Yeah. Any questions?
They said Rosie's going to be a star.
Yeah.
Jeff said, "This is a damn good discussion. WACC is really getting into a good flow. You guys and Adrian are badass." Sean O'Laughlin signed in from Sydney. T. Killer said, "The first time I went to Ireland, I cashed in my American cash for Irish pounds. One of the bills I said on the back said, 'Keep England out of Ireland.' This when I was 10. It was about 25 years ago."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, like cell extractions. When I was in Corcoran, WACC, there was a guy. They call him F.A. Rodriguez. He was a lieutenant, and he would run into buildings, and they ran in a building on A Yard 3A, and all the cops were masked up. It was raining outside. It was nighttime, and they made everybody go out and sit outside in the yard in the rain. And this black dude was taking a shit, you know, and they told him, "Get off the toilet, get outside." He goes, "I'm taking a shit." And they beat his ass and broke his leg, bro.
Well, you know, Corcoran Corcoran is famous. I don't know if we touched on this in my interview, but I know we've talked about it. The homies from East Coast Crip that took off on the
Oh
police
yeah, yeah,
in Centinela in the program office, and then when they got to
yep,
Corcoran, they cut their hair off and beat them
yep,
and did all
yeah.
that. They won millions of dollars, man. Them dudes.
Well, the guy that got his leg broke, he won a lot of money. And then there was another black dude that came from Pelican Bay to Corcoran when I was there, and he was like balling with all kinds of money. In Pelican Bay, he reached through the tray slot to get his medication from the MTA, and the cop broke his arm. And he got a bunch of money, and he had flooded the yard with drugs, and he was laughing, saying, "Yeah, I'm flooding the yard with drugs with their money." He thought that was funny. But on a serious note, in Corcoran, when them guys beat up them cops in Calipatria and they sent them to Corcoran, it was Corcoran, for people that don't know, is in the Central Valley, California. It gets 100, 110, 115 degrees there, and it was summertime, and they got them off the bus barefoot. They made them stand on the hot asphalt so long that their feet blistered up, third-degree burns on their feet. They cut all their hair off forcibly. They beat them up, and they got a lot of money. They got paid pretty deep, from what I hear.
Yeah, I was in the pod with one of them dudes. He was a good dude, homie, from Six Deuce East Coast. I think he was from Six Deuce.
Yeah.
But yeah, them dudes, hey, they weren't playing no games. They went up in that program office and served the police, bro.
Yeah. So we went from like the cell extractions, right, in this video, to the conversation with a priest, right? And you notice when Bobby Sands' parents would come see him, they'd say, "How you doing, Bobby?" And he'd be, "Oh, just grand,"
Yeah.
He didn't put the shit on his parents, like he didn't want to stress them. And then, of course, you see how they're sticking the kites, little tiny kites.
Yeah.
Little notes, they wrap them up. You ever get any of them when you're in a whole little tiny writing?
Oh yeah, man. You know who's famous for that, man, is the Northerners, bro. And you ever gotten a kite from a Northerner, man? It's like you gotta find like a fucking bifocal to fucking read that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so tiny, like
man,
15th of an inch,
Yeah, and it's crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah. But, and then you see the thing where they wrapped that chick took that thing out and gave it to him under the table.
Oh, the radio, bro. Was that nuts?
Yeah. Now, and I heard an interview of a guy talking about that, and I also read it in an article. That was a crystal radio. Now, what they had, radios used to be operated on crystals, but each crystal would tune into a certain frequency. And that dude said, man, it was a motherfucker going to hoop with that. But they would smuggle in radios, bullets, guns, all through like that, going to hoop with it, and then they would tune in and get the information from the street. Them guys they were dedicated, man.
Hey, bro, if you're going to the hoop with a radio, bro, man, I don't even know I don't even know how to finish that sentence, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's dedication.
They got more heart and intestinal fortitude than I do.
Yeah, but they knew what was going on the streets through those radios. And now what people don't understand is they had elections during this time. And Bobby Sands, the main character in the movie, in real life, and by the way, this really happened in real life. So they elected him to be a member of parliament while he was in prison. The leadership on the streets actually got at him and said, hey, don't do these hunger strikes. And he basically told them, you guys don't run this in here. You run the streets, we run this in here.
Yeah.
So
that's just like Tookie got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize while he was on death row.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, that would be the equivalent of being elected a senator.
No, not at all. No, I wasn't trying to equate that with that. I'm just saying that, it's it's crazy, man. That whole, I said, man, that story, I couldn't sleep that night, bro, after I watched it.
You got a question, babe?
Just a
comment?
couple of statements while you guys are talking.
What's up?
Say hi to White Dawn. He just logged
Hey,
in.
White Don.
How
you doing?
Let's see. So Ian Moore, again, another great question. How do you think, or what do you think they? Actually, I'm gonna ask that one last. Let me read some statements for. Let's see. Let me see. Sorry, Annie.
No.
Just some, good comments.
All right.
What's good? Much respect in Merced, California. I got a question for both of you. I'm a northerner and I did a bunch of time. Still feel like I'm locked up. Do you guys still have that problem?
I don't know. How do you feel, WACC? You still feel like you're locked up?
No, but I mean, sometimes I feel that everybody should at least go to jail for a year so that they have there's a right and a wrong, and I call a ball on a strike, and I get called an extremist, and it's like, nah, I just don't look at the gray area. Give it to me black and white, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
So, but like, to the northerner who sent us that message, man, salute to you. It'll get better over time, bro. Just
I'm glad you're out.
Yeah, just focus on obtaining your freedom all the way. Get off parole if you haven't already. Get a long-term job if you haven't, bro, and just focus on the future instead of the past.
Yeah, just do it one day at a time, man, and it'll happen for you. Kind of live in the moments as they come.
Yeah, most definitely.
Just live in it.
Most definitely,
and
man.
Slowly the past will fade from your mindset. You never forget where you've been or what you came from, what you went through. But and that's an active northerner. Them guys go through quite a bit.
And don't let your convict status, meaning that you're an ex-convict, we're not.
It's not going to hamper your progress.
You're not just that, bro. You know what I mean? Like you're out now. You got a shot. You know what I mean? Take advantage of this shot, man. And like Mitch said, you northerners, man, I give my hats off to you guys. Even though, even not just because my affiliation being a Crip and the northern, not just because we're comrades in the pen, but I'm saying that man to man, that you guys run a hard ship, man, and just get out. I mean, just be out here, man. Live in the moment, like Mitch said. Take it day by day, and just be thankful, man, and be humble that you're out here and you got another shot at making it right. Because every day that we're free, that's one day farther away from the penitentiary than we are.
Yeah.
Salute to you, bro. Hope prayers up for you, man. That everything turns out good, bro.
Yeah, if you got any questions, you can always direct message me at mitch@heartintentions.com.
Yep.
Or my Instagram, Mitch Smiley 790. Yeah.
Also known as Big Mitch.
What's up?
Just so you know, when you guys Instagram DM Mitch, he'll answer you, but then he won't remember. And then he's like, oh yeah, man, I'm supposed to do that. Turk said that dude shitting in his hands and wiping on the wall was fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
Even when they pressure washed, it was disgusting.
Yeah. It was a real deal.
I felt the same way, bro. I could not watch it. It was like, I couldn't watch it.
Uncle Ben.
So, what I talked about in some of my videos before is I went on a hunger strike in Lancaster, WACC.
You went on a hunger strike in Lancaster?
Yeah, I did. We were locked down for a riot between the whites and the Southsiders, and the cops were treating us like shit prior to that.
Yeah.
And you know how Lancaster was. The food sucked, the program sucked.
Yeah.
And if they found a cell phone on the minimum yard, they'd search the whole damn prison, disrespect everything, take property from you. It was ugly, man. And I had been down quite a while, and I was like, I'm never getting out. So, I'm tired of living like a fucking dog. And I went on a 30-day hunger strike there, and I talked to people about it, like, hey, let's do this. Like, yeah. And over that way. None of them did it. I kicked it off, and none of them went with me. They took me over to the infirmary and put me in a cell with a shower. It was like tuberculosis isolation cell, had a shower, everything. So I was like, hey, fuck you guys. I had a rosary and a Bible and a they promised me all kinds of shit, you know, like as far as my property and transfer and all this stuff, improving the program and of course they broke that. And that's that lieutenant I told you we had another riot, and he asked us, hey, how you guys doing? I tell him, what the fuck you care, punk? Yeah. You're a liar, you know?
You're a bitch.
And, yeah, so I went 30 days with no food. I just drank water, you know? And I was kind of pissed off. I couldn't get anyone to do it with me, you know?
Well, you know, hey, you know, I noticed that a lot, man, where it's like everybody, you know, they want to gang bang on each other and politic on each other, but when these motherfuckers are trying to take your family visits, you know, you don't want to do nothing. Yeah. So what that tells me, I'm only left to believe that you and your cellie are playing with each other's culos at night, and that's why you don't care about it.
Yeah, when they took our family visits, right?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, man, let's get busy. Let's do violence. And guys told me I was crazy. But some of them told me, oh, you know, I don't care. I'm not a lifer, or I don't care. I don't get family visits. I go, if they take our family visits, they're going to take everything. Yeah. We're going to stop with our family. And I was right. And, you know, that was
the start of it. And, you know, every dude that told you that probably give out and receive daily massages with baby oil from their cells.
Yeah, you know, I mean, how do you let them take that away from you?
Well, because they're fags, Mitch.
To have an emotional, romantic, sexual encounter, quality time with your wife, or just go out there with your family and spend 2 days away from the prison with your family. They took that away, and they allowed them to take it away, and they wouldn't help us. And like I said, they said, well, I'm not a lifer, doesn't affect me. You know, I'm not married, I don't get family visits. You know, bottom line is, after that, they took the weights, they took the family visits, they took our personal clothing, they took our boom boxes, our TVs, they took everything. They fucked our, cigarettes, tobacco, packages from home. Yeah, I could go on and on and on.
Well, them dudes were all practicing Folsom karate in their cells at nighttime.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, you know what, dog? I can't. That's one thing about me, bro. Is, and you know, like I said, man, we've got a pretty good gauge on. I've got a pretty good gauge on who you are and who I am, and you got the same with me, right? And you know, I'm not the hardest, just like you. I'm not the hardest dude around, bro. I'm far from it.
No.
But I mean, if we're really gonna sit up here and play these games amongst each other, and but at the whole time let these motherfuckers, they've already got us locked up, bro. But now you're gonna let these motherfuckers just come and just take everything that you've got coming by law, bro. Because they choose not to do it, and you're just gonna sit there and accept it. I can't fuck with you, bro.
Well, they didn't care, because as long as they had a needle to stick in their arm, they didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, and if you look at like High Desert Prison, there wasn't a lot of drugs there.
No. Hey, bro.
Because it's so far away, you know.
I went from Lancaster, where literally dudes had $100 bill, big faces in their pockets like they were on the block.
Yeah.
In the neighborhood, bro. To go into High Desert, and I think I smoked weed one time in High Desert, bro.
Yeah, see?
Once.
So when guys weren't focused on the drugs, getting loaded all the time, then things got more serious. Then it was more about the violence and the shit, because things became more real, more serious. They focused their attention on violence and politics and controlling things.
And the police knew, the administration knew in High Desert, I can only push these dudes so far without one of my officers getting stuck in the fucking neck. Yeah. And that was real. You could tell by the interactions the police had with individuals in Lancaster versus the interactions in High Desert, bro. the police for the main part, they stayed away from us, bro. We stayed away from them.
Yeah.
You know, contact was at a minimum, bro. Nobody was up to police's ass.
Hey, I guess we got a super chat, babe.
We did. Christina Spencer super chatted us $30.
Wow, thank you, Christina.
Thank you so much. And she said, hello, I love watching you. Thank you, Christina. We love you too. Thank you so much for the super chat. Super cool.
Hey, WACC, you know what pissed me off was like, I think in Lancaster, the mentality of staff was like, you know, let them fucking party, whatever, they're out of our hair. But the cops would fuck us around and everyone's so fucking loaded or focused on that the guys that didn't get loaded would be pissed off about shit. And the guys that were just dope fiends, they were just like, they didn't care.
Yeah, pretty much.
So when I went on that 30-day hunger strike, you know, I was a solo rider, you know?
Yeah, they were like, oh, where'd Smiley go? He's on a hunger strike. Oh, fuck him. He ain't, you know, like some bitches. But
it was during the lockdown, so, you know, yeah.
Dudes are, man, bro, I've seen the police talk to motherfuckers in Lancaster. I swear to God, if the cop would have talked to me like that, bro, I would have had to whoop on another cop, man, and get a DA referral, bro. You know, you're not.
I told you, man. I seen cops. I seen this white cop spit on black dudes that came from the Bay. Spit on them, bro.
What?
And he did it like nothing on Sea Yard. Yeah, like nothing was gonna happen. And they went in and packed their property. About three or four of them. They went out the afternoon yard, and beat the fuck out of some cops.
Yeah.
You know, Lancaster was an ugly fucking shithole.
Yeah, to me, Lancaster was like it was like an experiment almost that went bad, you know? You know?
Yeah, I didn't like the way they ran it.
No, Lancaster was fucked up. I mean, if you were on dope or if you hustled, it was the spot to be, bro. But as far as politics and living and all, it wasn't cool.
Hey, we got some comments.
Ian Moore said, don't let the COs continue to control your mind.
Yeah.
Mountain Jew said, going to prison.
Yeah.
I remember my cousin did her first leg. She told me the first 5 months in her sentence, she was beaten and bashed every day for 5 months straight. All her shit got took.
Yeah.
Josh said, they got a place here that holds lifers and state prisoners with pretrial waiting to go to court. Mad Max said the thing that should matter most to them and people don't bust a grape to fight it.
Yep.
New kids lack integrity these days. Longbeard, he's like, a massage sounds good. Are you going to go to the pool too and barbecue, Longbeard, today? Or is it like not hot enough for you today?
No, when WACC was talking about guys massaging their cellies and shit.
Okay. Did anyone, let's see. Mad Max said the 90s were fucked. They took so much.
Yep, they took all their shit in the 90s.
Yep. It started with
Josh said there was a lot of meth in the places I did time and made for a crazy ass environment.
Yeah.
I hated having a dope fiend celly.
I hated it when somebody would drop a lump of speed on the yard and the whole yard spun out on speed. Then everybody gets paranoid. They're all watching each other. I'd just sit on the yard and laugh at them. I thought they were, me and my friend Sparky, we're just like, man, look at these fucking dumb shits, you know?
Hey, my thing with that is like, man,
he's got all kinds of good things.
I want to be paranoid in prison. I was already paranoid, bro. I wasn't going to add to my paranoia. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was just, I don't know. Drugs just became a way of life in there, man. I hated it.
Yeah.
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 So during this movie, you see the hunger strike starts, right? And the stories I read, guys, one cellie would be on the hunger strike and the other guy wouldn't. And he said his cellie would turn his back on him and eat while he sat there not eating. And yep, I remember one time when I first started my hunger strike, the first 5 days I was in the cell. After 10 days, they took me to the infirmary, but my cellie goes, hey, I feel bad eating this in front of you. And I go, don't trip. I go, what am I missing? Some lousy fucking grease with some soybean in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I'm not missing out on shit. But for them dudes, you know, like one of them dudes, Lawrence, I think his name is Lawrence McKeon. He went 72 days without eating and lived.
Yeah, because Bobby Sands went, what, 66, right?
Yeah, 66 days and he died. And actually 10 guys died during that strike.
Man, bro, that's...
And did you see when they put him in the bathtub and he looked up and the guy went to help him out of the bathtub and he had UDF on his forehead, on his knuckles? That was the Ulster Defense Forces, I guess. And that was his enemies.
Right.
Those were the dudes they were fighting against. Those are loyalists to the British Crown.
Right.
And gets out of the bathtub, he just let the guy fall on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, them guys had no love for them guys, you know. It's just
it's amazing,
man.
Bro, what as humans we can do to other humans for no other reason than beliefs or color or creed or religion or whatever.
Yeah.
It just shows you the evil that lurks within this world, bro.
And you know, when Bobby passed away, he had like 500,000 people went to his funeral.
Yeah, no, I watched some shit on YouTube the other day about it where they were after his death, and man, there were people that they loved that dude, man. They never met him, but they were, you know, they were so awestruck with his you know, with just his being, man, you know, what he stood for and his fortitude and his belief, you know, and you can't do nothing but respect the man, man. You know, he lived and died by his beliefs, man.
And you know, I kind of like that movie because there's no propagandist type message to it. It just kind of shows you the facts of kind of how things transpired, you know?
Right.
It's kind of factual. And I wonder if there's anybody watching from Ireland that knows kind of what went on and what they think about that movie.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear their response.
Everything a predator does, it does out of fear.
Yeah. So
what movie do you want to do next, Mitch?
Well, we got to pick another movie to review, and I don't know which one we should pick.
Let's do Redemption about Tookie with Jamie Foxx.
I got a couple comments.
Is there a movie about that?
Yeah, it's called Redemption with Jamie Foxx in it. It's called Redemption.
And where can we watch that?
I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's either on like Amazon or I don't know if it's on there. I'll find it, bro. And if you can, if you don't have one of them streaming sites, I'll send it to you through the email where you can watch it or something. But
all right,
you should be
Redemption.
Redemption, yeah.
We'll check it out during the week.
Yeah, it's a good story. You know, it's about Tookie and
yeah.
Hey, actually, and that why I say that is because in that movie, he was in San Quentin. He was in, I don't know if he was in the hole or just on death row, but the police were fucking with a dude next door to him. And he said something like, "Hey, punk, leave that dude alone." And the cop was like, "Shut up, Tookie, before we give it to you." And he was like, "Fuck you." And they went to his door with the gauge and shot him with the block gun through the bars.
Yeah.
Just, you know, just crazy shit like, but it's a good movie, man.
I need to say something.
We got Adrian needs a comment here. We got what's going on.
So you know, I'm into this, Mitch is not, but so you know, we always have either 1 to 5 dislikes on our thing, which is cool. We don't care. But we figured out that it's pretty much the same person, and I think he's on.
Oh, really?
I think his name is this one because he has a different name every time. So I'm pretty sure it's Street Smart Square Guy. So
is that Kevin O'Brien?
You all feel free, or Dick Ryder, or whatever that is. So
we also got one named Kevin O'Brien.
Okay. All right. So we'll see.
On Facebook.
Okay. Yes. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Me when you're ready.
Comments. What's up?
Okay, so Vic said, watch the movie last night, Hunger. That was recommended. It was pretty good. Mad Max said, I was spun out on a sick one once and I didn't eat for 6 months. I'm kidding, but I look like I hadn't eaten much. Let's see. What movie is he talking about? Watching
Redemption.
Okay. Mountain Dew said the movie Hunger is not based on the other Irish movie called In the Name of the Father.
No, it's not.
Okay. Let's see. Goose Gassard said, remember the towers back in the day when you heard the goons running through the basement? There'd be waterfalls of toilet water and turds and nastiness coming down from the tiers. Those cops were tough.
You can see the sun's hitting me pretty bad. I had to rotate a bit.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put a curtain up over that window. Yeah, WACC, you know, prison can be brutal, man, but I think the message that people should take away from that hunger is that a lot of us have common ground to stand on with each other despite our differences, you know?
Yeah, and it goes to show that at some point everybody at some point we've all been a victim of you know, some kind of injustice as people, you know, and
Yeah.
it's sad, man. Like, and I keep saying it, but I can't get over the fact that it's sad that we as human beings can do another human like that, man. And
Yeah.
and we do it in the name of a government. That's
Yeah, and you know,
wrong, man.
now, you know, like I keep telling her, you know, I don't understand like the shit that's going on now in this country, why people are destroying their country. The thing is, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. That's an old cliche, but it's true. If you're not building yourself up to build the country up, you're destroying it. So, and I don't understand that. If all this shit started because of police brutality, and if everyone would have protested peacefully and took measures to correct the situation without destroying other people's personal property, I think every single person in this country would have got behind the cause.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, you're right. They just killed another black dude, unarmed black dude in Atlanta last night, the cops did. So
wow,
it's gonna be a hot spot. They're gonna go, you know, it's just unfortunate, man, that, you know, I don't even wanna I'm so tired of hearing about it and talking about it.
Me too.
You know, it's sad how us as humans, as the human race, can do our brothers and sisters, man.
Yeah. But the thing is, we have a common thing. We're all Americans. And I saw a video on Facebook, this black dude, he looked kind of gangster actually. These younger black dudes are saying, hey, fuck America and all this shit. And he goes, all right, fuck America. He goes, what country would you like to go to? Where would you like to go to if you don't want to live in America? And they didn't have any answers. And he said, you know, I'm a black nationalist, meaning, you know, he's an American. And so we're all Americans. So, you know, my thing is, I think that we should work to make the country better, not tear it down. And that means calling motherfucking law enforcement out when they're fucking up. And it also means not fucking with them when they're not fucking up. But I think my part is doing these videos and trying to help people out however I can. And my job also, you know, I have a positive impact on the community with my job. So
yeah,
that's my part, you know.
Most definitely.
Of course, if anybody reaches out to me with problems, if I can help them, I will, you know. So
yeah, that's what's up, man.
But really, it starts with a family, and that's kind of why I admire you. You got a couple kids and a wife, and you're down for your family, you know.
It's all about putting things in perspective, man. And to me, it's about, what do you want to do? Do you want to keep being, like you said, do you want to keep being a part of the problem, or do you want to be part of the solution? You know, at the end of the day, man, can you look back on your day and say, I've actually fulfilled something today? Or do you look back and say, well, damn, I really fucked shit up today?
Yeah.
That's what it
boils. Everybody fucks up, but then you got to stand up and correct it and move forward, you know?
Yep.
That's kind of where I see it.
Yep.
So, you know, it's about dinner time on my end. I don't know about you, WACC.
Yes, sir.
Now, did you say the hot sauce is in the mail?
It should be, yeah. It should be, yeah. I would say tomorrow or Monday.
Monday. We should have it Monday. Did it come U.S. mail or FedEx?
I believe she did the brown. What is the brown truck?
Or UPS? That'll be Monday. We'll get it. All right. So give us a shout out for your channel there, WACC.
Yeah, it's against the grain. It's the same one I comment from when I come on you guys' videos. Just come check it out. I dropped 2 videos today. I think
they can't find it on the search. They can just tap your icon on your comments and go to it.
And I think Adrian listed it somewhere on your page, like community.
Yeah,
page.
it's in our community page.
So yeah, I dropped 2 videos today, so go check that out.
All right. And also, you did an interview with Lockdown 23-1, which is Death.
Yeah,
interviewed you today, and he'll be dropping that video on his channel pretty soon.
Yes, sir. So,
excellent.
Check it out.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys hooked up.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks for coming on tonight, WACC.
You already know, bro.
And thank you everybody for watching. Just remember, man, whatever you do, do it hard.
That's right.
Don't fuck around. Do it hard.
Yep. All right, everybody. Be safe, man.
All right, brother. Good night.
Right,
Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks to all our subs and donators. Thank you, everybody.
Right.
Have a good night and a blessed weekend.
Always fucks me every time. Okay, hang up your phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign off. There we go.
We're still on, so hold on.